And this is a solid agate, probably 1.3 pounds or so. You can see the little bits of agate peeking out through it here. I'm going to tumble this, and this thing is going to be gorgeous. I know it looks like just a regular ordinary rock, but it stood out to me because there were little shiny areas on it, like this one right here. And I'm like, you know what? I think that's one big solid agate. So about a week ago, I found this really impressive agate on the beach, and told folks I would keep them up to date on the process. And it's been through a 7 days of tumbling with a 60-90 grit, and it's about to go through and get 24 hours in borax. Here's a trick I use, by the way. Makes it a lot easier to get the top off. And here in a second, you guys will be able to see the what it looks like when it comes out. I use this to get the top off a little easier. I don't know if I can pour this with the camera running, but by gosh, we're going to give it a try. We got it on me. That's right. Lost one. All right. First reveal. Oh, look at this. Where's the one I'm looking for? That's the big one that I found. And we've just started to get some of that top off of it. Look at that. But there's that big one. Look, it's got almost all of that outside crust off, and the agate is just shining through with some patterns. That's going to be amazing. That's it for stage one for that buck. All right, let's see what this looks like after phase 2 and before we put it into phase 3. Man, look at the patterns on that thing. That is definitely going to be one of my favorites now. Just look at that. That is so neat. I am very pleased with how that agate's come out. Hard to believe that looked like just a regular rock here at one point. Okay, we finished the first 3 stages. Let's see what these guys look like after stage 3 and before they go into stage 4. And then let's clean them up a little bit. Oh my gosh. Right on top, look at that. Wow, that's the one. That's the big one that I found. Oh my goodness, look at that thing. Look at the glow it's picking up from the sunlight going through that. That is going to be prize collection on my shelf. That is phenomenal. This is absolutely going to be my prize in this batch, though. What a beautiful rock. So, next stop is going to be the end of phase 4. Okay, it's the moment of truth. It's a new barrel, but just finished the polishing phase, and we get to see how the rocks are doing after 32 days. This is going to be fantastic. Let's get them all in there. Let's see what we're dealing with here. So these have all gone through 10 days of polish now. There's the one I was waiting to see right there. Let me see if I can find a ray of sunshine to hold this thing in, because this is going to be phenomenal. Look at that. Isn't that great? It just came out of 10 days of polish, and it is going to just be amazing on the shelf. Look at this. All of that detail in there. Look at the sun just shining through that agate. That is gorgeous.